Hi, it's Nina. We made it to episode 5 of the Nina Blanco podcast. Thank you for listening. And if you don't already, make sure you're following me on all socials. You can find me at the Nina Blanco. See what I did there? Made it nice and easy for you. And that's across all socials. I'm all over the place. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I mean, all of the things. And usually whenever a new social media forum. That's the wrong word. I'm sorry. It's early and I have been awake for a really long time. And I'll get into why I've been awake for a really long time. But bottom line, what I'm trying to get across to you right now is go follow me at the Nina Blanco. I've been really paranoid lately. I've been real paranoid. There's some weird stuff that's been happening in my neighborhood, which has not been helping the paranoia. I'm not really into astrology at all, but I heard Mercury is drinking her Haterade. And I think it all has to do with that. I mean, there's got to be something to this astrology stuff, right? That's kind of how I feel about it, is like, I'm not into it, I would say, but I do relate to some of the character traits that are for my horoscope. Like, I'm a Cancer and I'm overly emotional and I cry and I'm a fixer and I'm a people pleaser and, you know, all of that stuff. And I feel like it fits into that category. And when it comes to astrology and things being weird or off because Mercury is in retrograde, I have to remember like the actual word retrograde, because I always say Gatorade or Haterade or whatever it is, because people have fun with this kind of stuff. But yeah, when Mercury is in retrograde, which is a real thing, things get a little haywire and weird. And every single time that this happens, I just have a weird week. Or weird weeks, because I guess it just started last Friday and Mercury is going to be in retrograde until February, so for the rest of this month and bleeding into a little bit of next month. So I'm not looking forward to the next couple of weeks because shit has already been so weird. Let's get into it, right? Okay. So last Monday, I was in the kitchen. I was getting myself a little snack. And as I was in the kitchen, the boy was in the back room and we chill in the back of our house and we have our TV and stuff back there. So he's back there, the TV's on. I'm in the kitchen more towards the front of the house. And all of a sudden I hear, and I was like, what kind of fireworks were those? And I yell out to the boy, like, did you hear that? And he turns off the TV. He was like, yeah, what was that? I was like, I don't think it was fireworks is all I know. And so, yeah, it was definitely gunshots. And they sounded like they could have been far away, but also sounded pretty close. And, you know, I was in the kitchen and stuff towards the front of the house, like by the street and everything. So I was like, what just happened? Well, a couple minutes later, police show up. And they are like right at the end of my street, like not very far away from where I am. I counted only 8, but it was nighttime and they all had their lights going on and it was really hard to see. But I counted like 8 police cars all there. And I mean, I will say, like, I knew before moving into this neighborhood, like, this is one of the last places I could afford in Denver, first of all, just because of prices and the housing market's all been going up and crazy. I knew before moving here that it's a little bit of the ghetto of Denver, which saying the ghetto of Denver is just so funny to me because it's not ghetto at the same time. I don't know how to explain it, but I live in the hood a little bit, all right? I knew that before moving in. I moved in. I see, you know, certain things in the neighborhood. My neighbors are all weird. We all kind of keep to ourselves, to be completely honest. But yeah, I live in the hood for sure. And then all of a sudden, all these police that are at the end of the street, I was like, oh my gosh, like that had to have been a drive-by. Like that many shots. It sounded like the same gun. I know nothing about guns. I know nothing. I'm purely speculating. but it sounded like from the same gun. I was like, that's a Uzi. I don't even know what an Uzi is, but I heard it in a rap song one time. But anyway, I was like, it had to have been a drive-by or something. But all of a sudden, all the police cars are all there. They're there for a hot minute. I'm the nosiest neighbor ever. I'm literally like peeking through the blinds. No shame whatsoever. I don't care. It's my house. I'm going to be nosy in my neighborhood. And so all of a sudden, they grab the yellow tape, and the yellow tape is going around. And we're like, holy shit. Did someone just die at the end of our street? What is going on? So, we're just like taking 30-minute breaks of watching TV to go like check up and see if there's anything else happening where all the cops are. You can't really see anything. I'm not about to be like that neighbor who goes up to the crime scene. No, absolutely not. But because I can see the crime scene from my kitchen window, like I'm gonna go look. So we keep taking breaks, going back to look at it, and I don't see anything. Nothing, different is happening, but the cops were there for a really long time. Like, I'm thinking, okay, it's got to be a full-blown investigation. They got the yellow tape out. There's 8 police cars there. That's a lot of police cars. So it gets late. We're going to bed. We go to bed. We wake up the next morning, and they're gone. No more police there in the morning. It's been several hours since it first happened. And then I just haven't been able to find anything about it. I'm not overly concerned where it's like, I need to know every detail what happened. But at the same time, as a neighbor in my neighborhood, what happened? And so you do a Google search and you search, Denver PD's Twitter and stuff like that and stuff online. And I can't find it. And I'm kind of pissed at Facebook about it because my neighborhood, we had a Facebook group. And it was a great little page to get local information just based on my neighborhood alone. Only had, a couple hundred maybe members, and it was just people who live here. And so that page has recently gone away with freaking Facebook neighborhoods that they popped up. You get that prompt, that annoying prompt, it wouldn't leave me alone. So I was finally fine, in order for you to leave me alone, I'm going to sign up for Facebook neighborhoods. And I hate it. I hate it so much. They have these weird prompts my name is John and I've lived in the neighborhood for 24 years. I don't care. I don't care. Okay, what happened with the gunshots? I don't care, John. And so everyone's doing all these stupid prompts that Facebook is putting up there, and I can't get any real information about the crime happening down the street in my neighborhood. And I try to search. I haven't been able to find anything. They shut down the neighborhood group page that we had before because Facebook created Facebook neighborhoods, but it's not showing me shit. So I'm pissed about it. Anyway, that's not the only crazy thing that has happened in the last week. I can't find anything about, this shooting that apparently happened. I don't know if someone died. It seemed like it. But again, I don't know. The rest of the week goes by and I've just been really, really paranoid. And I don't know that I have any, I don't know, what can I call it? Powers or a gift or anything. I don't know. I just know that sometimes I get weird feelings and I always trust my instinct, even if it turns out to be nothing. And all this week, I've had just really weird feelings. I just haven't felt right. And I've been really paranoid. And I'm hearing all these little creaks and stuff in the house. And I'm like, man, just shit's going to go down this week. I just know it. And so we started the week with that drive-by shooting. At least I think it was a drive-by shooting. And then we ended the week. Everything was okay. Just normal, minimal chaos in my neighborhood. The occasional crack addict just walking down the street. And cars always park in front of my house to I don't know. One time a lady was literally smoking crack in her car across the street from my house and we had to chase her away. Just normal stuff like that. That's where I live, okay? So we go through the week. We deal with our normal stuff. And then over the weekend, I'm in the kitchen making more snacks again because I have a problem. And all of a sudden, I just hear little popping noises, or I hear just like the small thuds. It's not gunshots. Let's get our head away from gunshots. But it's just like, I don't know, little thuds at the front door. And again, I was at the front of the house. I was in the kitchen. And I was like, what the fuck? But I immediately knew as soon as it like hit the door, I was like, oh, eggs. Someone egged our house over the weekend. These goddamn kids egged our house this past weekend. The boy comes, and he is the type of person who he needs to approach conflict. If there's something going on with like our house, our property, our house, our neighborhood, in front of our house, the street, all of that, he can't handle it. And like no soliciting, like if you knock on our door to try to solicit for something, he gets so mad and he's so rude to you, and he turns into the worst kind of person. So these eggs hit our front door, and he's immediately like about to open the door. And I'm like, no, baby. I stop him because we live in the hood, and you're not allowed to just go busting out the front door to go, what's the word? Confront is the word that I'm looking for. You are not allowed to go out the front door and go confront conflict because we live in the hood. I don't know who actually threw that egg. Maybe someone's prompting us to go outside in order to do harm or enter in our house or rob us. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but I'm not playing around with that shit. I know he has his little attitude, but no, babe, you're not going outside. So I stopped him. So I could see immediately on the door it was eggs. Our front door has a little window on it, and I just see like yellow smear coming down. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. So I convinced the boy to stay inside for like a couple minutes, and we're peeking out the windows like we don't see anyone or anything, no cars or anything like that. So then we start a Google search because I'm like, I feel like eggs are the type of thing that you need to take care of right away. I feel like I've heard that before. And so we start Googling it, and like, yeah, you have to get eggs off of whatever your house as soon as you can. Don't let it dry, because then I guess it's really hard to get off. By the way, in case anyone gets egged, what you do is you get a bucket of warm water, not hot water, because hot water will cook the eggs. Warm water and some laundry detergent, no bleach, non-bleach laundry detergent, and some warm water, and you can get a little brush and scrub the eggs off and then rinse it off. But it's freaking winter. I don't have my hose hooked up right now because fucking sprinklers burst and shit. So the hose is put away. It's winter. We're literally just getting like our mop bucket and some laundry detergent and some water, and the boy went out there and he scrubbed it. It was like all over our house. It was all over the front window of our house, the door, our front door, and then our front like living room window, like egg everywhere. And these kids were using the expensive eggs. These are brown shell eggs. I just know that typically the brown shell eggs, the non-bleached eggs, are for whatever reason a couple cents more expensive. So these fucking kids. Anyway, as the boy's outside cleaning, because I'm not, like, I've been paranoid and weirded out all week, and then this happened, and I'm like, no, I'm not going outside. I'm not helping you. I'm sorry. I'll deal with it tomorrow if you want to wait till tomorrow, but I can't do this. I'm not going to do it right now. It was like 9 p.m. I'm like, nope, I'm good. So the boy's outside, and he's scrubbing the windows and stuff, and all of a sudden he sees like 3 kids running down the street. And he guesstimated at maybe 12 years old, these 12-year-old kids running down the street. And like, clearly it was them. So like, luckily, I guess it's just like a harmless prank. But what are these kids doing outside running around our neighborhood? Like, part of me is like, cool, good for those kids. Like, it was a harmless prank. It's just a little bit of egg. Egging house has been around for so long. Like, whatever, they just decided to egg our house. But at the same time, hello, there was just a drive-by shooting, and they just ran at the corner where someone probably died a couple days ago. I'm like, go home. Go home now. What are you doing? Where are your parents? So these kids were clearly just like, I don't know, having fun. It was like a Sunday night, but the next day was MLK Day, and I don't think the kids had school. So I don't know. Late night holiday shenanigan. I don't know. They egged our house. It's whatever. I don't even care the fact that they egged our house. Don't do it again, though, you little motherfuckers. Do not do it again. That happens, and we're like, WTF, this has just been a weird week. And then, like, the next day didn't get any less weirder. It's MLK Day. The boy was working from home, so we were home all day, and he went to go get, like, a coffee refill while he was working in the office, and I was in the back room watching TV, and he goes to get his coffee. He goes, "Hey, babe, come here, look." And so I run to the front kitchen window where all the action happens, and someone's getting arrested like a couple houses down. Some chick was like sitting on like this little concrete, you know how with landscaping you have like the concrete bricks around a tree or something to make like a garden bed. She's sitting on this like garden bed concrete thing, and she's got a blonde ponytail. I can't see her face or anything. It's just like, you know, a little ways down, and she's faced the opposite direction, but there's a cop car pulled like all like halfway in the middle of the street, blocking things off, and she's in handcuffs sitting on this cement block thing. And so we're looking, we're like, oh, someone's getting arrested. I wonder what happened. And then we start, you know, watching a little bit longer, and the police are like emptying a bag. I don't know if it was a backpack or a bag of some sort, and they're taking things out with gloves on piece by piece, and they're spreading these things out, whatever was in this bag, on the top of their police car. And they're spreading it out, and they're just like taking all these items out of this bag. And we're like, what the hell is happening? And then we look over, and she's pulled into our neighbor's driveway, like the house that they're all in front of. She had a gray car, and it was pulled into the driveway of our neighbor's house. But we are like, because we're such nosy neighbors, we're like, I've never seen that car before. I don't think that person lives at this house, because they're just our neighbors a couple houses down, and I've never seen that car before. I don't know if this lady lives there. Why is she pulled into the driveway? And so, you know, we're trying to like figure out the story without actually knowing the story. It's all assumptions, you know? So we're there, and then all of a sudden the boy's like, oh, there's a kid. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, look, on the front bumper of the police car, there's a little girl standing there. And I was like, oh, that actually breaks my heart. So this woman, I'm guessing, okay, because I don't know the story, I'm guessing this woman was getting pulled over because her front bumper was non-existent. She didn't even have a front bumper at all. But I'm assuming that the fact that she didn't have a front bumper attracted the cops. They were following her. They pulled her over. Maybe she pulled into my neighbor's driveway thinking, oh, I'll get them off my back if they think I live here. I'm just going to pull into this driveway. And so, no, they pulled her over. Maybe she had a warrant against her, and they searched her car because the police were all up in that car. Doors open. They were in the driveway. Again, I'd never seen this car before, so I don't think they lived in my neighbor's house, but I don't know. I don't really know my neighbors that well. I'll be honest. Anyway, they're searching her stuff, and this poor little girl is there, and it's clearly her daughter, and we're just like, oh no, there's a kid involved. Like, this little girl is watching her mom be arrested and their car be searched. She had a little backpack on. I don't know the rules. Did the cops search her backpack as well? Like, that's scary for any kid. Like, how traumatizing. But it happened, and then all of a sudden this other car pulls up, and luckily, I don't know, they were maybe family members or friends, but they took the kid. They were there to pick up the child. And then the mom got arrested. She was arrested and later put into a cop car, and then they called a tow truck, and then I don't know if it was a cop who pulled her car out or the tow truck driver. I think it was the tow truck driver. He had gotten her keys. I guess she gave him permission to do so. I don't know, but the tow truck driver, got into her car, drove it down the driveway so that he could tow the car. I don't know the deal with that. I just know the lady was taken away in handcuffs. Her daughter was there. Her car was searched. Her daughter was taken by some friends, which, you know, best case scenario, I guess. I don't know what to say about it. But things have just been real fucking weird. And then this morning, as I am recording this podcast, so these are like the last couple days of events that have happened, like day by day by day. And this morning, now that we're all paranoid and not sleeping well, and I've just been super paranoid, I'm like, something's gonna happen. Like, I can't handle this shit. I've been like locking all my doors, making sure all my windows are locked. Like, not today. But this morning, all of a sudden, the boy gets up at 4:30 in the morning, an hour before he normally gets up for work. He gets up and he's like, I was like, what's wrong? What's going on? And he's like, someone's starting a car. He's like, I'm just making sure no one's trying to like steal my car right now. So he looks out the window. from our bedroom, and it's our neighbors trying to start a car, and the car's not starting at 4:30 in the morning, and it woke us up. So our neighbors are very interesting people. We have 3 immediate neighbors around us, and these neighbors in particular, they are hoarders. I believe anyway, based on their backyard. They are hoarders that I can see from my office. There's a boat back there. There's like 3 cars just in the backyard alone. That's not to mention like the 4 or 5 cars that they constantly switch around on the street so that, you know, they move them around so they don't get tickets because the cars can't stay there after X amount of days, and they constantly are moving around their cars. This was one of the cars that they decided to move at 4:30 in the morning. That just wasn't working because none of their cars are in great condition. But yeah, our hoarder neighbors were deciding to move their cars at 4:30 this morning, and they couldn't get one of the cars started, and it woke us up, and we've just been awake ever since. The boys at work now. I'm just chilling here, so I'm tired. I'm a little loopy. But I don't know, man. Weird shit going on. I don't know if I should mention. Maybe it's just me being an asshole, but I also think that our hoarder neighbors, they're either drug dealers or just drug users, or both. I think they're both, to be completely honest, because there's just a lot of like weird people going in and out of that house. I mean, I got a couple stories from it, but I'm pretty sure they're drug dealers. Anyway, we also think that they probably use drugs. Just, I don't know, they're always up super late at night. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're night owls. I don't know. It's wrong for me to assume, but it is what it is, and I'm going to absolutely assume. I don't know if they were just high and awake this morning, or I don't know what it is, but yeah, who moves their cars at 4:30 in the morning? I don't know why, but they decided to do that. So I'm tired, and a lot of weird things have been happening. And yeah, I am not super into astrology, but I definitely think there's got to be something to it. Mercury's in retrograde, and shit's already going crazy. Whenever this happens, Mercury being in retrograde, like I always just have the weirdest things happen. And so this time is no exception. And I found out because I was looking at it a little bit, I was like, what is Mercury retrograde, and is it happening right now? I've seen a couple things on Instagram. I'm not sure, but yeah, it started on the 14th last Friday, and it goes until February. But yeah, I found out that we're gonna have it happen 4 times this year for several weeks at a time. So it's not majority of the year, but pretty much majority of this year is we're gonna be in Mercury's haterade and spiraling. So I thought 2022 was going to be a good one, but no. Just look at the astrology calendar. We're in for a wild ride. Man. But anyway, I just wanted to share on this episode the crazy shit that's been happening in my hood. Like, I don't know, this neighborhood, they're WILDIN. Shit's going crazy. I don't know the deal. I don't like it. It's getting me all paranoid. I can't even take Bonzo for walks past a certain time, at least in my neighborhood. That's what I've learned in the last couple of months, as I've just been home more, wanting to take him for more walks and stuff. And if I take him for a walk between 8 in the morning and 11, it's usually okay. But past 12 p.m., man, the crackheads are roaming the streets. The crackheads go chill on this bench that I walk past for my little route with Bonzo, and they're just a little weird. One time there was this girl, and I almost asked if she needed help, but I could tell that she was on something, and I was like, it's just me and my little dog, and he's more of a chicken shit than I am, and I can't put myself in danger like that. Like, I hope you're well, lady. I can't. And so, I don't know. I can't take Bonzo for afternoon walks past 12 p.m. in my neighborhood. How sad is that? I hate that. But it is what it is. Like I said, I knew moving into this neighborhood, like I'm moving into the hood a little bit, but it's just proven to be a lot of craziness that we have to deal with. I'll have to get into some more neighborhood stories that have happened in the past. Like, this was just the past week, so I had to tell you about it. But I have a lot of stories in my neighborhood of just weird things going on. People peeking into other people's window. I did have to confront this one girl one time for the sake of my other neighbor, and it's always something. It's always something in this hood. So anyway, stay safe out there because Mercury is drinking that haterade and causing chaos. And I don't like it either. So just stay safe. Rub your crystals. I don't know, whatever you're into. I'm not into that kind of stuff. It's just not me. But if you got it, charge that shit, rub them, manifest, do whatever you got to do. Thanks for listening. Just wanted to catch you up on the chaos that's going on around here. Thank you so much for listening. Episode 5 of the Nina Blanco podcast. Make sure you're following me at the Nina Blanco across all socials. And we got some cool show stuff coming up. On Friday, we'll have another episode for you. And on Fridays are when I am doing my segment, Get Into It, Yeah. Okay? On Fridays, because I took a poll and not everyone is into the celebrity stuff, and that's cool. I get it. So Friday's episode, the last half of the episode, that's when I do Get Into It. Yeah, if you're not into it, that's where it is, and you don't have to listen to that part, and that's totally fine. But if you are into it, that's when it comes at the end of the week so that I can recap all the crazy celebrity stories that happen. Thank you so much for listening. Love you. Bye.